how's it going, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about, is Danzo Shimura a worth it ultimate unit to get, or a 99 luck lead? And now if you guys have seen my past two Super Impact videos, then you know that this raid is no joke, and I use New Year's units in both of them to get through it, and it does make it pretty easy and fun. But I was a little critical of this unit, so I wouldn't dismiss him outright, and there's a lot of things to take into consideration. So if you still, don't know if you want to go for this unit, then just listen to what I have to say and then decide for yourself. But I wouldn't write him off outright just because he's not a trash unit necessarily. I said he was, but I do think he has some redeeming qualities, and because there's literally nothing else to do on Blazing right now, maybe grinding him up is not such a bad thing. So let's go ahead and look at the unit himself. I do have him ultimate finally, which is very good, of course. So I think his PvE form is definitely better than his PvP form. Now, usually when it comes to these Super Impact units lately, we've had them where their PvP forms are actually way better. But I think because this man has the PvE version of himself with a 510 chakra similarly, I feel like it's going to be better there, because on PvP, you're not going to be getting his jutsu out with it being a 510, and it's just not worth it because you're definitely not going to get a second chance to use it again in that match, and that's not really helpful. But his PvE form has 600 healing, so looking at this man for a 99 luck lead, I think he's not that bad because he's a vast range. Although he's not going to be doing a lot of damage, he's a vast range, and both of his jutsu are AoE. So I think that's actually pretty good, because one of my favorite Super Impact units is the Datara, that is heavily slept on because he's a vast range unit. He gets his ultimate right off the start, and he does some good damage. Now this Danzo has the heals, and so 600 heals is a lot for a free-to-play unit. The only other heart unit that has like really high healing that comes to mind right now is Final Valley Naruto with 750, and he was an anniversary unit. So this dude's right behind him, and that's not bad. And on top of that, he has 40% chance health recovery, ceiling resistance, so he's most likely going to heal no matter what. On top of that, he also has this substitution jutsu for 20%, so we're getting kind of dual Rinnegan Madara vibes there. I mean, obviously the dodges were higher with him, of course, but I'm just saying this man's not as bad as I originally thought when it comes to a 99 luck lead, because he's a vast range unit, he's a heart type, so you can go ahead and put him on your heart team. And although he is a 510 chakra, that does suck, of course, but then again but Datara got his chakra back at the beginning of the thing, so I understand that. Whereas this dude, it's going to be hard to get chakra back with him. And his first jutsu I don't think is that great as well, because it only does slip damage, and it's not that great. But his ultimate isn't that bad, because think about it, it restores your health by 1500 for 6 turns, and then on top of that you also have this 600 boost here, so he is going to be having the heals. If for some reason your Final Valley Naruto does not have the healing ability, or you're just slacking on heals anyway, say you don't have Kaguya, because I personally run Kaguya and Final Valley Naruto on my heart team for heals, but this man doesn't hurt as well. And when you look at the other 99 luck leads that we have, at least for a free-to-play unit, this dude's not bad for that. I really think that he's gonna shine when it comes to that. So if you want to grind him for it, it's not terrible. I mean, they obviously did make him for PvP too, though, because his field and buddy skill literally are worthless on PvE. It just reduces the chance of you receiving speed reduction, so that is a rip. But just as a 99 luck lead, he's not bad. I think I'm gonna be running him. Maybe that's just because he's a new unit, but also because he's not too bad. And compared to like another heart 99 luck, like this Asura right here, which is the other 99 luck heart lead that we had earlier last year. Now the thing I don't like about this man is he's a 6 and 12 chakra, which is pretty bad, to be honest. I mean, his ultimate, it's AoE as well, so is his first jutsu. But being a 6 to 8 chakra is just not good, and attack weakening, even though it neutralizes an element affinity based damage reduction, it's just, I don't think his jutsu are that good. His field and buddy skill are really good, and this unit was really good also just for the fact that he has the 50% body damage reduction, which is not bad, and he has 400 heals, so he is good for if you're going against body raids. Definitely bring this man. But then again, at the same time, maybe it would be better to bring the Easy Nagi god himself that can actually heal up so much. Anything he has chakra reset. But this Usher is a really good 99 luck heart unit for free to play. The only thing is he is a 612, which I don't like. He's a short range, and his strength isn't even that high, especially when you take into account that he is a short range unit. So I feel like the Izanagi Danzo is way better than this, but at the same time, this raid is pretty challenging, just like the Danzo one, so it's whichever one you have. But I think I'm personally going to start using Danzo over this man right here. Now, of course, he's not necessarily better than someone like Shisui here, who's also a 5'10", who's free to play, because this Shisui is pretty good. But again, I think what makes Danzo so good is that he has dodges, just like the Shisui does, and he has the heals. And the heals are extremely important because a lot of heart type units, like I said, don't have a lot of heals. You have like maybe Rin, Final Valley Naruto, and stuff like that. But I just feel like this Danzo really does make his place in the meta for PvE because it's just good to have heals and dodging and all that stuff. So for a 99 luck unit, it's not bad. It really isn't. But looking at his PvP form, on the other hand, yeah, it's a little bit of a yikes. So he does have the dodges, which is quite a lot, but I mean, that's about it. And what if they nullify substitution, which a lot of units do nowadays? And he does have the chakra recovery, ceiling resistance by 20%, but he's just not a good unit. He's really not. And his jutsu multipliers are still not that anything special. They just reduce your speed, well, the enemy speed gauge, and then boost your own, but it's not worth it because his speed isn't gonna be something that's necessarily the problem. He's just extremely weak. So yeah, this Danzo is not for PvP, I will say that right now. But when it comes for PvE, you should definitely think about grinding this man, because like I said, there's literally nothing else to do on Blazing right now. There's literally not, because that's the only impact that's really out that is worth doing. But like I said, if you don't have the New Year's units, you can still do this. It's not impossible. There's actually a really great video by 619 the Lord, and Rokage made one as well, where you can do this extremely easy without New Year's units. I'm not really good when it comes to speedrunning, so I left it to them for that type of stuff. But when it comes to the New Year's units, it's really not hard. I've made 2 videos already with 2 different playstyles, and it's really not that bad. You can just go right through it if you want to, and it's pretty good for grinding this man up nonetheless, because the New Year's units are pretty overpowered. But yeah, because this is the only thing to really do on Blazing right now, grinding him up, I think it's worth it in my opinion, just to get his a 99 luck lead. So that's gonna be it for the video. Tell me what you guys think about this Danzo. Again, a lot of people are saying he's trash. I did as well, but I wouldn't outright write him off because he's not that bad for when it comes to PvE, in my opinion. When I saw how much healing he does, I forgot how much it was, but like now that I see it's 600, it's like, okay, that's not bad for a free-to-play unit. I would have killed for something like that back in the day, although there's a lot of better units nowadays. Free-to-play players still need something, but this raid is so difficult that I don't know if a lot of them will be able to. I mean, I'm free to play, I did it, but I saved up for New Year's, so it's a little bit different. But still, this Danzo, I think he's alright for PvE. Don't put him into PvP, please don't. I just have a second one just for collection, but like, nah, don't do it. He's not worth it. I'm not taking him on the PvP, but for PvE, he might be in some of my videos. So there you go, that's the Danzo. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video.